Thanks for checking in. Midweek reset. I like the sound of it, that everyone is talking about this midweek reset, that we are mindful of our intentions and mindful of the whole nature of our ongoing spiritual circles, and that is to reset us. And what does it really mean to reset? Are we resetting our minds, perhaps to live better, or to set things into perspectives, resetting our emotions. This one thing that meditation does is that sometimes we carry on a lot of feelings, energies, and emotions. And as long as we can remain silent within the space, in our consciousness, we'll be able to see everything surface as they are. And there could be unprocessed feelings, that may be there. It's not exactly that they surface, they have always been there. And as long as we can sit mindfully with self-compassion, they will begin to dissolve. As mentioned before, not everything requires healing or our active processing, because feelings and energies, mental energies, they have their own lifespan, to dwindle away on their own, whether the good or the bad. And this is why in the 37 factors of awakening, the Buddha mentioned the 4 efforts. The 4 efforts are, I can't remember exactly the line of it, scale of it, but number 1 is to let go of whatever unwholesome states or unwholesome thoughts that have arisen. We don't need to understand why we need to let go of those unwholesome thoughts. Sometimes we have stray thoughts. They are not really serving us at all. Perhaps you may be latching or grasping onto something, perhaps a recent event that has happened and you do not like it, you dislike it. You hold on to it for so long. The longer you hold on to it, the more you feed it and it begins to grow. There is an old Cherokee story that this old man, he was explaining to his grandson that there are 2 wolves within each and every one of us. One is joy, happiness, love, gratitude, contentment, patience. And the other one is anger, resentment, jealousy, insecurities. And these wolves are always active. And so the young little boy asked his grandfather, so which wolf would actually be stronger? Which wolf will win? And his grandfather replied, the one that you feed. It's the same within us. What kind of thoughts do we want to put into it? And thus, in Buddhist psychology, we don't just say mindfulness. We say samasati, right mindfulness. To apply the right mindfulness, the right remembrance. We can't operate in the world in blankness. Otherwise, you'll be as good as a rock or someone who has been lobotomized, right? There's no more consciousness. But because we function in the world constantly, what kind of frame of mind do you want to put into your head so that you can interact with the world? Recently, had a call, and that person shared with me something very beautiful. That person said that the more that person practices, start to notice changes. And it's not that the world around us change, it's that the practitioner, something within the practitioner has changed. That's the beauty of our cultivation. And that's why we call it bhavana, B-H-A-V-A-N-A. Bhavana means cultivation. We want to cultivate the mind. It is based on the mind where we experience and where we operate and where we function. So the 4 right efforts, number 1, is to, of course, samasati and sampajanya. I don't need to go in to elaborate what sampajanya is about anymore. It's about knowing yourself, right? Know that you're here, self-awareness, a very clear comprehension of yourself. It's to notice, is there any unwholesome state of mind in my head right now? You know that when we are triggered by something or we dwell into something for way too long, we tend to exaggerate those ill feelings that's in us, or even the suffering on its own. Right? So we want to notice that. And if it is there, we need to learn to just let it go. Sometimes you may think, it's very hard to let go. Okay, maybe if things that happened way in the past, maybe it's very hard to let go. But things that a lot of things are happening to us, perhaps this year, don't mention this year, this week. A lot of things may have happened. And a lot of things we can drop. We can simply just let it go so that they don't latch on for too long. That's number one, letting go of unwholesome states. And number two is to prevent them from arising anymore. And how do you prevent them from arising? And that is the third one, which is to cultivate a positive mind. Thoughts that serves you, that serves a purpose. Happiness, for example. By now, you should know that happiness is a choice. Happiness is an attitude. It's a habit. And number four is to prolong them if they have already arisen. So number one, letting go of unwholesome ones. Number two is to prevent them from coming up. So in order to do that, you go to step three, which is to let them come up, the positive states to come up. And the fourth one, it is prolong those states. We prolong them not because we are attached to positive feelings. We prolong them because that is the only compassionate and the only right thing to do. It's not a toxic positivity, but because every time, everything around you, there's something for you to be grateful for, something for you to penetrate, something for you to understand. Someone who enjoys trekking, enjoys nature, you can throw that person in nature for hours or even for days. That person will be very happy, very blissed out. But someone who hates it, with like, get me out of here, there's mosquitoes, it's too cold, I can't sleep properly over here, my feet are aching, for example. So it's the same body structure that we have, the same terrain, but what was different there? The mindset, the mentality. So bhavana is really about cultivating the mind. You may have learned a lot of different kinds of tantric meditations that are brought up. No, they are all directed into cultivating our minds to allow more space for the wholesome states to come up. Mindfulness in itself is also one of the wholesome states and one of the most powerful ones because it allows you to realize that you are alive. The second thing is that with mindfulness, you can begin to embrace the negative things that happen to us that may have caused some kind of suffering. When you embrace them with mindfulness, things change a lot, which I believe this is what everyone has experienced thus far. And that's why you're still here today. We know that we are alive, number one. Maybe if I ask you, why are you alive? You can say, because I'm alive, because I'm not dead. But why do you go on living? Is it because you're afraid of death? Because it's wrong to end your life? But we still make a choice to be alive. So why do you want to go on living? Why are we afraid of sickness? Why are we afraid of death, perhaps? Because there are things that we can't let go of. Perhaps you're afraid of someone who's close to you. A lot of us, you're afraid of someone who's close to you that may die or who is dying. Some of you may not even fear your own death, right? Because you know that you've done enough. But why are we afraid of losing things? Losing our health, our loved ones losing their health, that can take a toll on us. What is this thing that drives us? And every one of us will have to answer them. Because as we know that in samsara, with birth, it comes sickness, old age, and death. It's part and parcel of life. But perhaps today you're here because you're not sick. Your eyes are working well. You can hear me clearly. You can still sit there. Your spine is still being supported. One of you is eating. Your gullet is working as well. Your stomach is working. There are people that can't even swallow because they have no energy to swallow. They need to grind out the food and pump it down their throats. Or worse, they go through a glucose drip for the rest of their lives. Life itself is very precious, especially during the pandemic. That's where we realize. As much as governments around the world want to get the economy started, but they still have to cherish life, no matter how capitalistic a government is, but they still have to be mindful of everyone's health, right? So it shows that we do value human life. Perhaps others value you differently. Their life can be quite transactional. People want you to be alive for a reason, to provide for them, to keep their companies going, perhaps, to be there for them. But how about you? How do you value your own life? And do you want others to be alive so that they can be there for you? And sometimes wanting to be there for others and to keep them alive could be selfish as well. Sometimes we want to prolong someone's life for ourselves because we feel that we have not cherished them enough, we have not done enough, we have not communicated to them our regrets, our guilt, or our love we want to resolve. So what are we really serving? In your jobs, you can have a goal, a purpose. Coming to this spiritual practice, you say, okay, you want to reset, you want to feel better, perhaps you want to gain enlightenment. But what keeps you going? Why are you? There must be some value that you see in yourself, not just your sense of purpose or your sense of importance in this world, whether be it material or spiritual. So what is it deep down yourself? What is it that calls you to want to come for this reset, to take care of your health, to experience this joy and love and abundance with the people around you and the things that you have? It is July now. It's not just a mid-week reset. It is a mid-year reset. And for maybe some of you, if you're more mentally mature, it's a midlife reset, right? and who knows? I'm 30, I'm 32, I might die at 60, so it could be midlife for me as well. We never know when we're going to die. We never know. So meditation is a contemplation as well. So I'm going to leave this session open for all of you. Just going to connect with yourself. I'm going to guide you through a practice of letting go of our identities. Some of you may be familiar with it. And after that, I'll prompt you to come out to share. So you're just going to sit with your eyes closed and meditate. And even after I prompt you to share, just going to take it as part of your meditation. And when something comes up in you, you don't even have to bow because most people's eyes will be closed. Just unmute yourself and then you just speak. The rest, just breathe and listen and contemplate what the person is saying. It's a shared Zen expression. Just imagine we're sitting in a circle. We're just breathing together. And then after that, when I prompt to share, if something comes up, with your eyes closed or open, at least unmute yourself and just speak your mind freely. And when you're done, just remember to say, thank you for listening. Because as I mentioned, eyes will be closed. No one might be able to notice the bow. All right. So this session is really to allow us to get really deep into it. All right. And trust me, you might not want to say anything. That's fine. But at the same time, it's going to help a lot if you allow your heart to speak for itself. There's really no right and no wrong. It helps us to deepen an understanding into our own life, which is so precious. Very, very precious. Some of us may think that, well, my life is nothing. I'm just here to help everybody. No, I'm just here to fulfill. I'm here to clear my karma. But look around you right now. Look at the clothes you're wearing. If you feel there's no value in your life, you wouldn't have bought that piece of clothes you're wearing. You may be wearing your PJs, but before that became a PJ, that was perhaps a piece of cloth that you wear out, in the way that you see yourself, in the way that you value yourself. It's an excuse when someone says that they don't value their lives, they don't bring anything. We do love ourselves deep down. And why did you get a haircut? Why do you shave? Why do you brush your teeth? Why do you take a shower? All this. Let's close our eyes. Ken, you may want to remove your cap. It may help you to feel more relaxed, whatever feels right for you. And just feel connected to your chair or the ground. And just sitting here, feeling naturally centered by your breathing, that your organs are still functioning, the world still goes on, but mindfulness is your refuge, and breathing is your anchor. I would like to invite you to place a hand over your heart, or wherever feels comfortable. And breathing into your heart, may I be kind to myself. This is a moment of sincerity towards myself. I've come a long way and I've done a lot. But now is the time to return to myself because I matter. My mindful breathing matters. My life matters. And this is a moment to simply be and let go of the baggages of the past and my imagination of the future. It's a time to come back to myself and to be gentle, be kind, and to make peace. And whatever inner child that may be present, I invite it to sit with me so that my mindful breathing can embrace it, to simply be together and to breathe. And you can let go of your palm and just be at ease and breathe comfortably and naturally. And bring your full attention to breathing out. Breathing out fully and completely. Breathing out to the earth. And then allow the in-breath to flow in naturally. You enjoy the in-breath and you consciously breathe out completely into the earth. And whatever present thoughts that may arise, they have roles tied to them that sometimes we mistaken as our identities. So if they do arise, we kind of breathe them out into the earth. For now is not the time for them. Just focusing on breathing out completely. Allow gravity to do its job. And as the in-breath comes, you welcome it, you smile to it. As long as you can smile and rejoice in the in-breath, you may feel that your breath is embracing you, this mindful space. Breathing out, I drop completely. Breathing in, I allow my in-breath to embrace me. Breathing in, establishing myself in the present. Breathing out, dropping the past and the future. Now just bringing this question into your meditation. Why do I go on living? What are my hopes and fears in life? What am I demanding from myself? And is it truly serving me? Why do I keep on living? What are my hopes and fears? What am I demanding from myself? Is it truly serving me? So just breathe into your heart or your abdomen. You may even place your hand over your abdomen or your heart as you breathe. Why do I keep on living? What are my hopes and fears? What am I demanding from myself? Are my demands truly serving me? At the same time, know that you are in this safe space, a collective mindfulness for the entire Sangha to embrace together with you. So there's no right or wrong, but it will help to verbalize them. Even with the wrong grammar, it's fine. So when the time is there, perhaps you feel palpitations in your heart or your mind is ready, you simply unmute yourself and you just speak and say thank you at the end. Just go back to embrace yourself. As long as you embrace the breath will be like a warm energy that embraces you. If you were to let go of your hopes and perhaps your demands, just shedding everything away completely, right here and right now. What truly matters to you? What's most important to you right now? What is most important to you right now that truly matters? Perhaps something that is already existent, that is already present within you, that is already a big part of you. Continue from where you are. Because life goes on. But what truly matters? Without your hopes and your fears, without demands, for it is already present. Whatever word comes up, or phrases, just mindfully open your eyes, hit the unmute button, and just speak it out. And then say thank you. Sometimes in life, when we drop our hopes and our fears, our ideas of ourselves, the ideas of everyone, and even the ideas and opinions of the world. And perhaps life is easier. And whatever you want to find, perhaps you really found it. Perhaps even at a younger age that you may have forgotten. Those times of freedom when you were not so serious. And live life with full of wonders, but without judgment or expectations. Whatever it is, just connect deeper with the earth. And as you breathe in, you kind of inhale the energy of the earth upwards into your body, into your heart, or to your whole body. Just breathing in upwards and breathing out, relaxing and softening your entire body. Breathe naturally now. Just allow your whole body to sink in into your chair, into your cushion. Allow your breathing to be soothing, allowing, and healing. Soothing, allowing, and healing. Now, I'd like to invite everyone to recollect one of your most wondrous moments in your life. Pick one that has the energy of freedom. Freedom, abundance, liberation. Of really tremendous bliss and relief. And recollecting that feeling, that moment, the posture, the facial expressions, the breathing, that energy that calls through your system. And in that energy framework, if that person in the past who was you were to look at you right now and what you've processed today or what you're going through today or this year, in his or her own element of freedom and perhaps fearlessness, what is the advice that your younger self would give to you right now? To put you back into your own power, your own freedom, your own liberation. Perhaps a gesture, a kind of breathing, or even some words. The earth floats freely in the universe. The oceans flow, the winds blow, the trees below, and the clouds spread themselves majestically over the endless skies, the beautiful horizon, a beautiful planet when seen from afar, full of life, beauty, and possibilities. Magical planet, the only one found to be capable of existence, of life. And you're all sitting on this planet, within this planet at its very core, deeply connected. Breathe with this origination of an everlasting creation. And the freedom of the winds, of the elements. Allow them to flow into you, to course into you. On this lovely planet, everyone has their own hopes and fears, their own demands, their own idea of perfection, that no one is capable of fulfilling. Everyone is unique, just like yourself. And yet, everyone is capable of freedom when they realize this truth, that there is no need to seek perfection. Like art, like nature, it is already perfect as it is. But sometimes it is our own intelligence that stands in the way with all the terms and conditions that makes life seem unfair, that makes life seem unenjoyable and transactional, even within ourselves. So we can try our best to just drop them. No more terms and conditions. Everything is in constant change. And this is the nature. It is in itself beyond the ideas of perfection and non-perfection. It just is. At the end of the sound of the bell, you can begin to exit your meditation. Body, mind, and bell together as one. Send your heart along with the sound of the bell. May it permeate the entire cosmos, even to the darkest spots, so that all beings that hear it can wake up to their true nature, to let go of their sorrows and of their fears, to realize the beauty within and all around. Take as much time as you need to open your eyes. As much time as you need. Or just continue meditating into the night. Sharing is optional. If you want to share, the circle is open. You can bow in to share. If you want to type, you can type. If you want to continue meditating, you can leave the meeting and continue your practice. But I'll be here.
Hello.
I just wanted to comment on what Zoe said.
So remember that whatever things that we're doing, it's mid-year, right? So it's about continuation. How do we want to continue? What are the things that we want to let go of? That we should continue striving to prevent them from arising in our minds. It's not a suppression, because unwholesome thoughts do sprout out when the mind is uncontrolled, correct? Not everything requires a trigger. You can just, boom, a repetitive thought pattern, or what we call sankhara, mental formation. So be mindful, be steadfast, be ardent. Uproot them, don't let them come up. What is it that you want to bring forward for the rest of the year? How do you want to continue as you are? What is really serving your value and your purpose? But first, you have to find it first. That's why early on in the meditation, those reflections was also for you to know what is standing in your way and how some things are unnecessary because we could be grasping onto them. And even if we are not, sometimes we do forget what is it that we're landing on? What is it that we're stepping on? So you want to step into life in your fullness, in the with things that you really value within yourself. You know, who you are today. Some people have mentioned that you're happy of who you have become. You have a way, you have a path. So remember that, you know, that is you. It can't be taken away from you, but it can only be forgotten through a lapse of mindfulness. So harness it. This is what I meant. You really harness it, you cultivate it, and you prolong it, because things are impermanent. States of minds are impermanent. However, as long as we are alive, we should strive to always make sure that we are kind of engineering the mental frameworks that works for you, that can help you to cultivate more understanding, more compassion, and more mindfulness, to thrive, not to strive towards life. Then you move forward, it becomes more and more enjoyable. And at the same time, you keep recollecting, you keep arriving at each footstep of who you are in the present moment, how far you come. And then you just continue, you continue, you continue. Of course, we don't live in the mountains or the monasteries. We may not be so mindful. Even for people who live in the monasteries, they might not be so mindful as well. So that's why we need to get into contemplative meditation, close our eyes, and deeply reflect, just to get in touch, just to sweep away what is unnecessary. So it goes beyond suppression. It goes beyond trying to force something out of ourselves. That's why I ask the question, what am I demanding? What are you demanding from yourself? If you realize that these are sometimes just our own ideas that we demand from ourselves, it may be conditioned by your upbringing, society. But the thing is that it's not outside of you, it is inside you. So there's no point trying to blame society or blame anyone for it. And it's not about blaming oneself either. The world has taught us to blame, to find fault. Just the fault-finding minds that we all have. But in spiritual cultivation, we don't need that. In any form of holistic practice, we don't need that. We only need to look within what is important, what needs to be thrown away, what needs to be prevented, not suppressed. And you are going to know how to prevent it. We have this natural wisdom within ourselves. And then to harness, cultivate, and most importantly, these two words, continue beautifully. Life is what you make out of it and how you want to direct your life. That's entirely up to you. So I wish you all happy midweek, happy mid-year, happy midlife, you know, and hopefully not happy mid-samsara. Otherwise, it means there's another half to go. All right, but enlightenment is not there, you know, it is here. Ajahn Buddhadasa, a highly, an enlightened master who has passed away from Thailand. And people ask him, what is nirvana? And he always replied, now. Everything he said is just now. So nirvana is here and now. So maybe just strive and to constantly just bring up that awakened nirvana state, you know, in us, and realize that at the end of the day, to attain it is to fully arrive. And that's about all. And to get used to arriving on it.